A little bit about me. I will never forget the day that I told my grandma that I was pregnant with twins. And my Nana, I went up to her and I said, Nana, guess what? I'm pregnant with twins. And she goes, oh, dearie, how did that happen? And I said, well, come on now. You know how that happens. You do it 2 times in a row, really, really fast. You guys, I really did say it to her, by the way. I'm not making this up. It really happened that way. And I know, every time I tell that story, I just can't stop laughing. But you know, she had a reason to be concerned. Because she still remembered the day that she went to a psychic, and the psychic told her that something was going to happen to a woman in her life who was pregnant. And she got the phone call that night that her little 2-year-old granddaughter was in the hospital because of the tragic fire. And they didn't know if I was going to live or die. We lived on a farm. My cousins were 9 and 11. They're actually from Calgary. And I lived in Spruce Grove at the time. And my grandpa told them to burn the shingles from the old barn roof. And so they were throwing the shingles in the fire. And my mom was 21 at the time, pregnant with my sister. And I wanted to go outside to be with my big cousins. And my mom thought, well, I don't know if I should let her go out. I should maybe keep her inside and change her diaper. So my mom let me go out. And a few minutes later, she could hear some crying and some screaming. And she opened the door to find me covered in flames. And my mom knew at that moment that she had made the wrong decision. So of course they put out the flames, they rushed me to the hospital. I spent 4 months in the hospital. Every 2 days I'd be in for surgeries. Every 2 years until I was 20 I'd go for more surgeries. And I'll never forget what I would do when I was young. How many of you watched Snow White? Right? We all watched Snow White, right? And in Snow White, the evil queen talks to the mirror and says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful woman of all? Right? And we hear the mirror talk back. And his big face comes out of the mirror, and we hear the mirror say, well, of course you are. Right? But when I went and looked in the mirror, all I could see was my ugly scars. Because I was taught that only the beautiful girls were beautiful. Only the perfectly flawless girls were beautiful and would be loved. I never thought any man was going to want to marry me. Because when I looked in that mirror, all I heard was the voice that said, yuck. Are you ever ugly? Nobody's going to love someone covered in scars like you. I remember walking past my teacher's desk, and I saw a picture someone had drawn of me, and it was a circle, and it had scribbles all over it, and it said Scarface. And I knew that the kids were calling me the ugly Scarface girl. I knew my scars were never going to disappear. I remember being in grade 5, no, in grade, I think I was 15, and I would pray to God, and I would just say, dear God, please don't make me wake up in the morning. But if I have to, can I at least be scarless so I can be pretty like all the other girls? And of course I woke up in the morning and I saw the scars, and I knew I was going to be the ugly Scarface girl forever. My doctor couldn't make my scars take away. my God couldn't take my scars away. And I thought, yuck, I'm always going to be the ugly girl. And I never ever wanted to have kids because I thought nobody's going to marry me. But you know how some women, they just know they want to be moms and they dream all about having 4 kids and 5 kids and how they're going to be an amazing mom and all this. And I just knew that I would never have that. Fast forward through my life, I eventually did get married, and I eventually did have 3 beautiful kids. And I was excited about having my daughter because I wanted to know what I would look like without scars. Right? She's just gorgeous. She's covered in freckles like her dad. She doesn't have any scars like me.